All right, so we're live now, and I just want a big welcome, Jessica, and thank you so much for having me, for joining me today on this live wash day, and I just appreciate you so much, and really love actually following your channel and just everything that you do in general. So I know there's people that are going to be watching now, and I just want to welcome them, but there's going to be people joining later on throughout the live. So I just want to start off, Jessica. Again, thank you for joining me, and just to tell me more about yourself and tell me what exactly it is that you do.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Sophie, for having me. I know we became Instagram friends, seems like forever ago now, right? But we talk to each other all the time, and so it's great to be on this channel with you and across the pond. So my name is Jessica. I am a wife and a mother of two curly kids. I have a daughter and a son, and I do work full time in software sales. So I manage a sales team. So that's my day job. And then my every other time in between job is I'm a children's book author. So I released my first book December 2020. It's called Your Hair is Magic Bedhead. It's part of a series, and Your Hair is Magic Wash Day, we're here on Wash Day Live, is coming out later this year. So it's a perfect mesh of our worlds.
Oh, amazing. And I've actually got it here. We're not going to sleep on the book, definitely. So I've seen the book, I've read it personally, and I'm not a child, but the whole aspiration is that, you know what, I want to be a mum, and that book is going to be either for my niece, like I told you, or for when I have children. So it's such an incredible book, and I love the fact that it has so many positive kind of connotations. First things first, I do want to say hello to Miss Rebel Jewel and Keisha from A Way of Life, who's just joined us. Thank you, ladies. And so what actually inspired you, Jessica, to write such an amazing book? I personally loved it, and there's so many books that are not many books that actually put that kind of mindset to tell children, you know what, you are loved, no matter what kind of hair texture you have. So what was your main inspiration to write the book?
So my inspiration was definitely my children, in particular my daughter. She's my oldest, and I grew up in Germany, and so nobody had hair like me, right? It was big and frizzy and fluffy and dark, right? All of my friends had blonde hair, straight hair, and that's all I really saw, and that's what I wanted. I wanted the blondest, straightest hair. I mean, for as long as I could remember. And that's obviously not the kind of hair that I have, and my children also don't have blonde, straight hair. And so I was trying to find books that would show the unique beauty of curls and ringlets and texture and knots and frizz and all of the things that natural hair is. And I couldn't find anything that was exactly what I was looking for, right? We have a lot of books in my children's library about hair and curls, and we love them, and they all have great messages, but I couldn't find books that really talked about the texture of the hair and showed different dimensions and showed, some curls are perfect and some are not curls at all, and some are just always going to be frizzy. And so when I wanted to kind of fill that gap, I was like, no, I need to find an illustrator who can really show all the different textures that are in one head of hair, right? I've got some curls over here that are perfect, and then I've got curls over here that never want to act right, and then I've got curls in the back that do their own thing, and I wanted to just show all of that. And so when I couldn't find it, I said, well, I guess I have to do this myself.
Wow, that's incredible, and it's strange because it's like Germany's, of course, we're from the UK, but Germany isn't that quite far, and then it's like this almost the same experiences, and that was something that you penned, a book that you penned for your children, and was that something that you thought that you didn't have actually growing up, or like what you say, there wasn't anybody with the same kind of almost the same texture yourself. So that was something that was a big influence in actually writing the book also.
Yeah, it was huge. Representation matters. We hear it more and more now, but as brown people, we know this, right? And it's just important. I wanted my kids to see books that have texture and color that represents them. And one of, it was a long process to write your own book and to publish it and to get it into a physical form that you can mail out to people. It's a process. We made a lot of mistakes along the way, but I remember the first time I showed my daughter the illustrations, the first draft, right? And I showed her the illustration of front cover, and I said, "Who is this?" And she said, "It's Ashton." And the fact that this little like cartoon character, right? Just the hair, that okay, I have to keep going with this. So that to me was like everything. So it was great.
Oh, that's beautiful. And what an amazing legacy for your children, not only for your children, but everyone else's children as well, because I can list on one hand of books that really do spring to mind of actual, like whether it be curly books for children with curly hair or, coily hair. So it is something where it is really, something that's needed. So I love that. It's so inspirational. And what was your first memory of hair growing? Oh, yeah, so you touched on that you grew up in Germany, but what was your first memory in the kind of, who did you look up to in that sense of the hair?
I don't know if I had anybody to look up to, right? Like, I'm glad that now we've got, the social media world where, down the line, my daughter's not even 3 yet, but eventually, right, she'll be able to see beautiful women who are embracing the girls who have big hair, frizzy hair, curly hair, kinky hair, and, she's going to be able to see that in my son too. And then, of course, with me, my brother, his hair is actually longer than mine. He's got beautiful curls that he's now embraced in his adult life, which is fantastic. I hate to say this, and I probably have to think really, really hard, but I don't think of anybody where I looked and said, "Oh, they've got curls like me, and I want to look like that." Right? My mom is German. She's white. She's got body to her hair. She has curls growing up, but not. So my dad's black. So, not coils, right? Not swirls. So she's a wave, and then my cousins on my dad's side are black, and I was envious growing up of their braids. Right? They called them like Moesha braids back in the day, right? So I either wanted blonde straight hair or I wanted micro mini braids. Those are like my two worlds I lived in, and I never had either one of them. So I wish I had a curly hair icon that I could have looked up to. I just wasn't exposed to it. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah, thanks for answering that in an honest way, because it is kind of, I'm not sure. I think Miss Rebel Jules said the internet's breaking up a bit. So I don't know if you can hear me clearly.
I can.
Oh, you can. Okay. It is breaking up just a little bit. Can you ladies hear us clearly now? I know there's a slight. Okay. So yeah, sorry about that, Jessica. It was sounding right before. But
yeah,
I can hear you clearly now.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds clear now, doesn't it? So I'll ask you the next question and then we'll see what happens. Yeah, so I'm not sure what's happening there, but thank you, ladies. But so what was it like oh yeah, so we kind of answered on the growing up there wasn't it was kind of hard to um meet in the middle with actually who you were inspired by because it was either one aspect or the other aspect. What would you say were your kind of style? Were there any people like celebrities that you looked up to that inspired you?
So the first celebrities that I can think of that looked like me or I felt represented was tiaandtamera Mori
Yeah.
in Sister Sister. So when I moved to the United States in 1995, I don't remember when that show came on, but I remember just the feeling of, oh my gosh, they look like me, right? Like they had brown skin and they had big fluffy curly hair, and that was the first time I was like, oh my gosh, somebody on TV looks like me, and that I definitely remember. That was those two for sure. 100%.
Yeah, and with that show, it was like the show that everybody wanted to watch, everybody watched, and it's just I don't know if you've been watching it now, but it's back on the Netflix, so it's so nostalgic to see it back, to see what inspiration it was, because I know I looked up to like Tia and Samira watching them and Moesha, so it was like so amazing to see it actually back on again. So A Way of Life has said it is still breaking up a little.
What
but
should we do?
Yeah. So are you on a laptop?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you are. I don't know why it should. Yeah, because it should be smoother with a laptop. Yeah, I apologize about this. But I think we'll keep rolling on for now, and then
I got my 2 bars. I'm like looking at the internet really quickly.
I'll say that again. Yeah, it was breaking up.
Full bars.
Oh, you have. Okay. Oh. I wonder what is happening. Shall I don't know if I should, Jessica. Would you want me to add you back on again?
Do you want me to leave and come back in?
Yeah. Yeah, is that okay? Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
And then we'll see.
I'll take it.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thanks for your patience, and I hope you're all well. And sorry about that. We will resume. Oh, so try muting line. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do that, Keisha. Thank you. Thank you, Queen. That makes sense, doesn't it? Because I don't know why I was finding that. I found the same thing with my sister's line, actually. We kind of had the same thing when we did our live. Simone's one was really crackly, and then my one was sounded clear. So, yeah, I'll definitely mute myself. And then hi to Regina and Aaliyah. Thank you for joining as well. And I hope you ladies are having a good Sunday. I would sing to you, but I can't. But Jessica's back now, so let's see. Hey, Jessica, attempt number 2. So can you hear me?
Yes.
You can.
Can you hear me?
What I'm gonna do. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna mute myself when you're speaking. So is that okay? Because I think that will stop the kind of connection problems. So
Okay. And I'll do the same when you're asking the question.
yeah, sure. Right. Okay.
Oh, technology.
I know. Right. Okay, so yeah, so you looked up to like the twins tiaandtamera for your inspiration, and what would you say were your favorite kind of products, or from what you remember growing up, what products did you use then, and what products do you use now that you use for your children and that you'd recommend to everyone that's watching?
That is a loaded question, Sophie. So first off, my mom, I will give this to my mom. The bigger the hair, the better, right? Like my mom loves big, voluminous hair. She would love me to like scrunch this out and then take a comb and like make it big. And she'd be like, oh, that's beautiful. Whereas I like the definition, right? Like as I scrunch and, mess with the curls, they'll get bigger. But she's always loved big hair. But she did not let me use product for years. I think I was maybe in 8th grade before I actually started using, product. And so I was sneaking products from like my underneath my dad's sink. So I don't know if you remember like the pink grease lotion that, so that is what I was putting in my hair, right? And I would like lather it on and I would take like a bristle brush and then do like a really high tight either ponytail or like a bun. I didn't want any frizz. So that's what I used. And I don't remember using gel or mousse or foam or anything until, late in high school. I was lucky enough to have hair that did okay, just, with regular washing and shampoo and very little product. And then in college, I cut all of my hair off and then I dyed it and it was a mess. So now, I've done the big chop twice. Now I used to use products that were all curly girl like approved, right? So no silicones, no parabens, nothing bad. I also used the no poo, low poo for many, many years. I really loved pretty much everything in the Diva Curl line, and I still to this day swear by the Diva Curl gel, the ultra defining gel. I love it, but I've gotten more casual, if you will, with my shampoos and conditioners, and I just try different things. I do still stay away from the parabens and the sulfates and the silicones, but I do like a lathering shampoo, and so I've found sulfate-free lathering shampoos. I'm still trying different things. This wash day is brought to you by Imbue. So I used their entire line this morning, their shampoo, conditioner, their hair mask, the cream gel. I think there's some sort of a serum, and then their leave-in conditioning spray. So I used, 5, 6 products. And I think it did really well. It feels really nice. And so I didn't use any other gel or anything on top of what their line had. And then for my children, I try to use things that are tear-free, but definitely sulfate-free, paraben-free, phthalate-free. I'm trying to just use gentle things on their hair. I've been using the Inner Sense Beauty leave-in conditioning spray on them. Cantu does really well on my daughter's hair, so I've been using that. Still just trying to, just mixing it up and seeing what works and what gives us the best results, but still using products that are, healthier and paraben, silicone, alcohol free. Definitely.
Oh, well, I love that, and then that is so much better for the children's the health of their hair and their scalp, and I bet if so, like I guess when we were growing up, if we knew all of this about sulfates and parabens, that we would be like avoiding this. And I love the fact that you use those. Sorry, I've forgotten the name of it in a split second, but I was saying that my brother uses it as well. He uses like the deep conditioner version, and I believe you had that as well. So
Imbue. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it's Imbue.
that's it. That's it. Yeah. So
Yeah, it felt really great. The slip was great with the shampoo and conditioner, which I slipped. So
oh wow. And what I'll do is I'll link those products because I know what they are. I'll link those products in the description when we've finished our live. So at least anyone that wants to try it out, they can give it a go. And I'll definitely say it. I mean, my brother loves it. And then I know you said it works amazingly. So it's definitely, I'll put that in the description as well. And some of the products you mentioned, like the Cantu and stuff. So it's so good that we're now like in a kind of society where even for anyone that's like any curly girls, curly guys that are able to use products now that are good for them, that something where it's like we've seen such a shift in the way the natural hair community in general has changed so much. Would you say there's been a shift in attitude towards the way we actually do our own hair and our children's hair? And I don't have children yet, but I know my mindset is set for that time. So would you say that is the case for your children?
yes, I definitely think there's been a positive shift with not only accepting the different textures of hair, but also embracing the different textures. I will say I have to kind of remove myself from different Facebook groups that were geared towards like mixed children or kinky hair children and that kind of thing, because there's so much misinformation out there, and I don't have time to respond to a comment, right, or a question. But there's still so many people out there that are wondering about how to lay down their 2 months old and I'm like, leave those babies alone, right? But people are moving in the right direction. I think there's a lot more education. There's more resources. There can always be more. But from where I grew up and what my mom had access to versus what I now know about my curls and how to care for children's curls, it's night and day. So for that, we're very grateful.
Yeah, totally. Oh, that's great to hear, and it's so good that things have changed from what it was, from people's perceptions and stuff like that growing up, and there is still confusion in certain things and what to use. But the funny thing is the information's so accessible, and we have YouTube, we have so many platforms that people can just find the hair that suits, find the products even that works for them, and just find people that they can relate to, that have the same kind of textured hair. So we do have a bigger buffet of kind of hair inspiration to go to, rather than what we had like maybe 5-10 years ago. So I love that. That's amazing. And I'd say my next question is, most importantly, is especially when you wrote your book, where do you actually see the actual kind of curly movement, or I call it a curly movement or natural movement, because we've got, at the end of the day, we've got to talk about all textures here. So where do you actually see the curly community and the natural hair community in like maybe 5 to 10 years time?
Well, I think people are learning to embrace their natural texture. They want to get back to it. I posted something a while ago, and it was a quote that says, "We don't go natural, we return." And that just was so powerful to me. I love that quote, because why are we not embracing what is growing out of our head, right? Why are we trying to change it and beat it into submission and make it something that it's not? And I think there's just an influx of people who are like, no, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of the weaves and the wigs and the, all the things, which if that's what makes you happy and makes you feel beautiful and confident, then yes, absolutely do that. But if it's a societal pressure that's making you feel like you have to do that, that's the problem, right? I started a new job in September, and this was the first time ever in my life that I went through the entire interview process with curly hair, with just my curls. And that was, yes, thank you. I gave myself a pat on the back, because, I always straighten my hair for important events, right? Birthday parties, friends' weddings, if I was ever going to a concert or show, right? I always felt more polished and put together when my hair was straight. And so for interviews, I always straighten my hair. And this time, I'm in such a different place mentally. And now, I can't tell you the last time I straightened my hair, but I think people are just tired of trying to conform to these Western beauty standards that are so unrealistic, totally unnecessary, and whitewashed, right? That's really what it is. And so I'm just done with it. And I think the other people are too. And so now we're embracing what is growing out of our head, right, for what it is, and trying to treat it well and make it blossom into what it can be. Even I was looking at my hair this morning, and my ringlets are much tighter than I remember them being in the past, right? My hair is literally transforming because I'm taking better care, because I understand now how to care for my hair in the right way and treat it with the respect that it deserves. And so that's what I want my daughter to see, right? When we see somebody out and about that has, their hair is big and beautiful, or maybe has a fro, I'm like, look at her curls, look at her hair, isn't it beautiful? And now she'll get to the point where she goes around and she says, look at her juicy hair, mommy, because we always call our curls juicy. Apparently she's going around schools telling people their hair is not juicy. So that's a whole nother thing we have to work on. I'm like, I know, I've created a curl bully. We're working on it. But she notices, right? Like, she notices people's hair. And we were watching on Netflix the new show with Michelle Obama, Waffles and Mochi. And there's, of course, she has, because it's Michelle Obama and she's a queen, she has all these different people, and all different hair textures. And I was like, look at her curls, look at her afro, look at, and she was like, wow, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And so, I think if we're raising little humans to see people's natural beauty, that's what's important, right? Or when I was my bonnet comes off and my hair's a mess, I'm like, big hair don't care, and now she says big hair don't care. My hair's not going to look amazing every single day. That's not realistic. And like, there's days where I do my hair, and there's days where I won't do my hair. And I'm teaching her and my son, that's okay, right? Like, it's beautiful no matter what. If it's a perfect hair day, embrace it. Take all your selfies, enjoy it. And if it's a not great hair day, take all the selfies, embrace it, enjoy it, right? Be grateful for the hair that's growing out of your head, and it is your crown. Treat it as such. That's how I feel.
Wow. That is deep. I love that. It's so perfect, because that is something where it's like you're being the change that we need to see as well. So it's so nice that we can embrace now what was meant to have been in any case. It was always there, but it just needed to come out and stuff like, and just in general as well, even the perception on TV, that is changing. Everything's changing. I think even, certain people like Michelle Obama, is like, nice to see that being championed on what we should be seeing, and it should be normal. And I loved your story about your interview as well. That really struck me, because I do recall when I would go into interviews or go to events or anything, and I'd think my hair wasn't done if it wasn't with either a wig or a weave or straightened. And that is such a strange mindset to have. And the mindset shift is just once you have that mindset shift, then you just feel like powerful. You feel like you can do anything. You feel like yourself. So I don't know if that was something that you felt as well.
Yeah, you're not trying to like fit into this mold that somebody else created, right? You're just coming as your full self. And I think that's really important, right? And I remember talking to my husband, because he didn't realize, so my husband is Black. And so he knew that there was this perception around what is professional Black hair, right? And he knew obviously that Black women historically felt the need to straighten their hair, right? In order to be seen as professional or worthy or any of the other things that society tells us. But he didn't realize that there's a lot of stigma around curly hair also not being professional, right? Not being professional. And so when I told him, I made the very conscious decision. I was like, I'm going to go to all of my interviews, and everything was virtual because, COVID. But I said, I'm going to go to all of my interviews with my curls. And he was like, yeah, you should. Why would you not? And I said, because this is the first time in my 30 plus years of life that I've ever done this, right? So this is a big deal. And I think for the job that I have now, it's a higher profile position. And so I went through, 7 to 9 interviews, all on video. And every single time I was like, all right, let's do this, like fluffing my hair, making it big. Like, this is who I am. This is who you're going to get. This is me, right? So it just felt like me. Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. And and one more thing, I do love the fact that your daughter says juicy curls. That is or juicy hair. That's so cute. That's so sweet. And she sounds like she's got an amazing character, and I just love to see I do watch obviously your family. That sounds strange. No, I do watch you obviously, and I just think it's so amazing, and it's like the tender loving care is what we need to put back into things like the hair, because our hair, even though it's strange, the hair, even when we try and put like nutrients and stuff like that, is the last thing that gets the nutrients, but it's the first thing people notice. It's the first thing that is what shows our identity. So I do love that, and just really appreciate you sharing your story. So I'm going to touch upon the last things now. So one of the last things I wanted to speak about was actually your interview. You had an interview on the 5th, you had a recent interview which is going to be aired on the 5th, and if you wanted to tell us a bit about that, on the 5th of April, excuse me.
Oh, yeah. Yes. So, well, I wanted to backtrack. So Juicy Curls will be making an appearance in the next book, because that she says that. And, when on wash days especially, I'm like, oh, your hair is so juicy. Look at those juicy curls. But we also used to talk about mandarins. She really loves mandarins, and those are really juicy, when you're doing all the adjectives with kids. And so the first time I said, oh, your curls are so juicy. And she was like, but we don't eat them. And I was like, no, we don't eat our juicy curls. We only eat the juicy mandarins. So it was a whole thing. But now she understands, the curls can be juicy and the mandarins can be juicy, but we don't eat the curls. So I had to put that into the book because it's just such a sweet, innocent moment. It's those moments that just, they just melt your heart. So juicy curls are a thing in this house. They will be in book number 2. So get ready. And so, yeah. So I am going live with Kelly Ripa and Ryan Seacrest on April 5th to talk about my family and the book and why I felt like I needed to write it. And, Kelly Ripa always, as well as like representation matters. We have to, we can't be what we don't see, right? And so, so that's a big thing, but I'm excited that they've embraced this story and the book, and Ryan is going to give his niece the book, so I'm really excited. She's got blonde hair. It looks like she's got a little bit of a curl at the bottom, but I'm excited for all kids to have my book, boys, girls, anybody in between, and then straight-haired kids, curly-haired kids, white kids, brown kids, it doesn't matter, right? Everybody needs to have the books that represent people that are not like them. I try to make it a point to have children's books in my kids' library that, talk about children who are in wheelchairs, right? And we talk about, they have an owie on their leg and they can't walk. And as they get older, we'll change that conversation into something a little bit more meaningful and more realistic. But that doesn't mean we can't start the dialogue now. And so when people say, can I buy this book for my son? Or, oh, well, my daughter has straight hair, will she like it? I'm like, this book is fun for all ages, and it needs to be seen by everybody, right? It doesn't matter what your hair looks like or what color your skin is. It's about representation, and something as simple but deep as hair is a great starting point for people to talk about representation and diversity, and to help the conversation just be, hey, we're all different and we're all beautiful, instead of making it an other, right? I don't want my children to feel other because of their hair. I just want them to be seen as who they are, which I know is difficult for some people to understand. I'm sure you understand it. But, talking with, like, we have a little neighbor, she's blonde, and we talk about, how her hair is different from Aspen's hair. And we talk about the texture, and they notice these things. So we might as well talk about them in a meaningful and impactful way. And so that's what the book is all about. So I'm really grateful to Live with Kelly and Ryan for highlighting it and for sharing the story, and for hopefully, helping spread the word and more people buying the books and feeling seen and represented and loved and beautiful. And that's really the mission behind the series. So I'm really grateful to them.
Oh, congratulations. And it's something where, well, I'll definitely be tuning in when it comes out for sure. And it's so nice. I think it's so important because, again, I can imagine even when we were both growing up, the only books were certain types of hair. So your book can relate to anyone, because at any child, because at the end of the day, it kind of tells them also not only about the hair side, but actually, you know what, you are beautiful. So, and it's all about the education at the end of the day. Once you educate a child from early on, they learn, so they absorb so much, they remember so much. So, I think it starts with the whole education of the actual seeing the visuals at, oh, you know what, I may not have the same hair type, but I can relate to it in another way. And then it's lovely that the books are accessible for all different types of hair. And I loved the picture as well that you posted where you had your first reader who was a baby. That really just made my heart melt. That was like the cutest, the most adorable thing.
A few days old, and a friend sent it to me and said, this is the first book that grandmother has read to her, the first book she's ever read. She's only a few days old, so I usually I just put them in my stories and then add them to my highlights. But this one just was so special that I had to like make a post, Yeah, those are the moments where I'm like, okay, I can keep going. I need to keep writing. This matters, right? Some days it's just, I'm a wife and a mother and I work full time and I feel like I work all the time. So there's days where I do say to myself, what am I doing? Why did I take on this project? And then somebody will like that. And I'm like, all right, keep going. This is life. So those are so meaningful to me. Yeah.
Oh, that's such a moment. It's just so beautiful. And that's something that I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute, because I always say that babies know from even when they're inside the womb, they know what's going on. They can absorb information from. I'm one of those people that believes that. So that was such a beautiful post, and I just can't wait to see, even more to come as well. I just love your channel in general. I'm so thankful for the connection. So lastly, now that we're going to wrap up the session, let us know where you can, or if you can tell us where best to find you, or where best to actually purchase your book. And then also, again, what I'll do is I can put the link of the products that we recommended, and then also if you let us know where we can watch your interview as well.
Yeah, so my company is Knotty Girl Publishing, and that's KNOTTY, like knots. So it's Knotty Girl Publishing on Instagram, on Facebook, and my website is www.knottygirlpublishing.com, and that's the website where you can order my book. I am shipping internationally, so just keep in mind with COVID, the postal system is going a little bit slower, but Sophie, I think you got your book in a much shorter amount of time than I expected. So yeah, so I was grateful for that. And then the episode will air on April 5th on ABC, and then it'll be on their website, Live with Kelly and Ryan, as well as their YouTube, their Facebook, and maybe their Instagram.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much, Jessica. And I'm going to put the links down to your website and your IG handle and stuff, so people do know where to go and stuff like that. So, and I really, really appreciate you joining me today. And I apologize again for the little, I guess, our little technical issues and the time zone. Who knew?
I mean, something can go wrong, it will, right? I was like logged in, and I was like, so no, totally, no, it's nobody's fault. Who could have predicted that? So.
And I'm glad, because I didn't realize we were so literally I think we changed, we're 2 weeks away from each other changing time zones, so yeah, here was me having
I wish we would just get away from daylight savings time.
Yeah. I was like sipping on my hot drink. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm glad you told me. But I'm glad we got here in the end, and I'd love it, I guess, one day, if you get the chance to, if we could do another live together, and then I look forward to just seeing more of your channel, and I appreciate you coming on today.
No, I'm so glad connected. What seems like forever ago now, and I know we talk on like Instagram and Messenger, and we send each other messages and stuff all the time. So I was really excited about our conversation today, and felt so honored that you'd want me on your channel. So this means so much to me.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, and I appreciate you too. And thank you so much for just the inspirational story, and just everything in general. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday as well. And and all my love to your family, of course, most importantly. Yeah.
So, I will tell them.
Yeah, definitely. So thank you so much, Jessica. And thanks to everyone that's joined us today. I appreciate you all. And I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.